What time was that?
We would have met at 5 o'clock for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then.
When exactly did you and Mr. Manila arrive at the studio?
About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you.
Where were the other employees when you got to the studio?
They weren't there yet.
Well, then you could have put the hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help.
Oh, what did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy.
Boy! Witness will continue her testimony. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct?
So he says.
Did no one go to call him?
Remember,
Remember what?
there was a dead body lying in front of us. You expect me to be calm?
You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Wait a second, wouldn't that be the other way around?
The other way around.
You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? Have to agree with the defense on this one. Ms. Vasquez?
Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often let him on the bus when shooting a location. No one really noticed he was missing.
Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Ms. Vasquez, you may continue. What was everyone else doing at that time?
No one said a thing. It was silent. Completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence.
Silence. Hey, Nick. Why's everyone so quiet? Just want you to do something to lighten things up. Hold back. Security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it?
She said because she saw him going toward the studio.
Right, the Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word?
Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact.
That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera.
She's not known for exhibiting the best of judgment when it comes to Hammer.
I don't think there's anything in there I can use. You asked to be left out.
Yes, it seems that everyone else was questioned. And I'm not really fond of that sort of thing.
But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question.
Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting. There was no way we would have been involved. Thus, they covered for us.
Covered for you. Or covered it up for you. There must have been a lot of writing on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. The script and your direction notes.
Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen.
Oh, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes?
Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse everything.
Why?
There was a murder after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Very well, Miss Vasquez, please continue. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Ms. Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio One. Order! Mr. Redworth. What you've just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Ms. Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Ouchworth is helping me.
So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of core is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal.
Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason.
I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left him behind.
You knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers.
What?
Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers.
Pretending?
One person was injured in that run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured?
I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right, you must have gotten it wrong.
I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Ms. Vasquez. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Power who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Oh, and when he was doing this? Well, it would have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2 where he was murdered. Exactly. Ms. Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order! Order! I will have order! Witness, can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez.
Very well. I have a question for you.
Why are the real killers always so persistent?
Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing.
Yes, he would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it's unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? No, saying you can't prove it now would be admitting defeat. She'll get away. But what proof could I possibly have? I don't care if it's impossible, you still have to fight this one. Okay. I have proof and I'll show it to you. Right? I present to the court evidence as to Ms. Vasquez's motive in this murder. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Ms. Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. What? A moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you've only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have?
Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine.
Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. She had no motive, Your Honor. That's what I was trying to say earlier, Maya. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then, Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill Dee Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance! There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Miss Vasquez! What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No. How could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing the action scene and... No. Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez! No! Please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's Dee Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. It appears you've brought about yet another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. That is all. The court is adjourned. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yeah, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Ms. Vasquez. But to think that he tried to frame me for murder, it makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai. Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kids show, and is the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him anytime. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP. Oh, thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and Is something wrong?
No, of course not. Oh, Nick, Edgeworth.
Say something, Wright. I'm not good at small talk.
Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth.
You don't waste any time gloating, do you?
No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in.
And, pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers.
Liar.
Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years.
Meet again?
However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I'm settled with unnecessary feelings.
Unnecessary feelings?
Yes. Unease and uncertainty.
Aren't those kind of necessary?
They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Mr. Wright? Is this guy your friend?
What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals! Right, Nick?
For now we are, I guess.
Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick. Tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth?
And so the curtain closes on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accent from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. It went back to making kids shows again.
Nick! This is it! The new show starts today! You're gonna watch it with me, right?
I'll admit, I was kinda surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it.
You have to buy trading cards too, okay? You have to trade with Cody and that assistant.
Fine, I'll do it.
Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time.
I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers.